over masculine toxicity environment that we have today. And we really shouldn't make light of it because it's not funny. Anyone that finds a child attractive and sexually asserts themselves with them is a pedophile and should be in jail. I don't care if the teacher is fine as fuck. If you're a 16-year-old kid and that person is a certificated teacher and an adult, there is no scenario where they should ever find anything about you attractive or worthy of that. But let's keep laughing about it. But it's not funny. If that was my son
I hear
and
you.
a teacher was coming for him, I would beat that bitch ass.
But what I'm saying
She
is,
turned from a warm sister to a hot sister.
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying in my case, you would not have known. I would not have said anything. That's all.
I wouldn't say nothing either, to be honest with you. I'm just being honest about it.
But I'm saying, Dandridge, this is the difference in. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I'm still saying the difference in generations are, one, our teachers, unfortunately, they didn't, or fortunately, like our teachers look like I can't remember one teacher that I had from first grade through high school that I even fucking remotely thought was like, damn.
Oh no, I had some fine ass teachers. No.
No, you did. I'm just telling you, but you are also younger than us. So I'm still telling you that in our, I ain't saying you drastically, but you are younger than us. So
quite, yeah, decades for sure.
Yeah, no, not that. So, but I'm still saying there was a difference because by the time when you were in school, it had become trendy again to become a teacher. So you had younger individuals who had started going back into the teaching profession. When I was in school, my teacher that was 28 looked like she was 48. And that's the honest to goodness truth. The youngest teacher I had was Miss Bridges. If you listen to Miss Bridges,
you were
I'm
also
sorry,
educated in a parochial environment.
That's correct.
Too. And so I think that's going to tilt the scales a little bit in terms of what you probably were seeing in the public school sector.
Well, but
right?
Yes and no.
That's different.
Yes and no. So for instance, I agree in terms of what you're saying and what I experienced. But so my mother was a Detroit public school teacher, right? So I would go to school with her, or not with her, but I would go there a lot, right? So I knew a lot of the teachers, or a lot of the teachers knew me. And I'm not trying to say there wasn't one young teacher in the whole building, right? Or they weren't a couple, but there was definitely not a plethora. Like everybody else was Miss Hogg, Miss Mall, and they looked exactly like their names.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, like I said, when you came along, a little bit different scenario. So I guess that's probably why, even not to make light of it, like you said, it's still a bad situation. But what I'm saying is there were no teachers who were even remotely close in age to us. So we didn't have I wasn't 17 and had a 23-year-old teacher. You get what I'm saying? Or a 24-year-old teacher who was freshly removed from college. In which case now you do probably look at them a little. I mean, I'm saying as a young boy full of testosterone and everything else, and as soon as you see a boob move, you think it means jump on them. Then of course you're gonna look. But that was rare back in the day. Not that it didn't happen, but it was rare.
Very
now,
rare.
what was more prevalent was there you go. Now that did happen. The male teachers talking to the young girls, definitely.
All the time.
But female teachers talking.
Oh,
but I'm saying that happened on a regular basis. And that's wrong too. I'm just saying the flip didn't occur back in the day. Whereas now you see a lot of it the opposite way around, which is just absolutely crazy to me. So as a perfect public service announcement, I do not condone the the solicitation or taking advantage of a minor by an adult.
I just think we need to normalize the idea that men men or young men in this particular instance can be victims, right? We don't like to normalize that. And like real harm happens. To imagine a scenario where you have lost whatever your virginity, or you're having an experience with a 39-year-old woman and you 21, 22. I mean, I get it. I get that it may be every young boy's fantasy, but I don't know if it comes with all the bells and whistles and none of the scars that people anticipate. I can't. I mean, think about it. He's getting ready to have a baby with someone. What is she? 20 something, 22 years his junior.
No, I thought she's 39. I think he's
He
Oh, so
22.
17
so
years his
17.
junior. Oh, he's 22.
Yep.
And now you have to figure out, because let's be honest, they're not going to get married.
Oh,
Like, this
no.
isn't turning into a Mary Kay Letourneau, right? Like that's not getting ready to happen. So now you're going to have to figure out how to co-parent. But he has a whole life to live with him. Like a whole life ahead of him. At some point, he will meet someone of his age and disposition and want to marry. And, it's just, it feels predatory to me. It
Well,
does.
but you're also making the assumption. You're saying like let's just talk. We're talking about from a sexual standpoint now. He has been. This is his third year in the NBA, and he plays in Houston. So he has been getting sucked and fucked on for quite some time now.
But
they
might be younger.
I think you're making an assumption. I don't know that to be true.
I do.
I don't know that to be true.
I do. Yeah, I do. You don't have to play in the NBA or be 20 or 22 to have that happen to you in Houston. So
that can happen. That can happen to you in Boise, Idaho. I mean,
not like it can in Houston.
Okay.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas is a real thing. It's a real thing. Trust me. Actually, no, don't trust me. But it is a real thing.
Well, I don't know. What do you think about it, G? Do you think this? I mean, what's your take on it?
It's odd as hell, yes, because she's that much older. But she's that much older, but she doesn't look like it, right? So let's just call a spade a spade. So, and there are a lot of girls that look like her in Houston. So I'm just gonna say that too. So I don't. It's odd. Would I advise it? No. Would I be like, hey man, that's a good look for you? No, I wouldn't. But in the grand scheme of things, this not the first. If we want to call her a gold digger, this isn't the first, nor is it the last that he will encounter. So a lesson needs to be learned. So you actually might be better off learning said lesson with the one that's supposed to be older and more mature, as opposed to it being another 23-year-old or 24-year-old who really would might try to just take you fully to the bank. Now, that's all speculative on my part. So I don't know. I wouldn't like if he was my son, I would be like, what the hell are you doing? Messing with them old ass ovaries. But that's me. Okay. And everybody's different, Maybe he
whipped it on him.
So well, we were talking about, you brought up his mother. So she may not have an issue though, because we start talking about culturally, right? And this is probably taboo, but it is what it is. You got 50-year-old dudes and older who fly over to the Philippines on a regular basis to try to get them a little 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. So maybe from that perspective, from his mom's standpoint, maybe she don't see that big a deal of it because that's, from a Philippine perspective. I'm not saying that it's right, but I mean, y'all know I'm telling the truth. There are guys that go over there specifically to talk to young underage chicks.
That's true.
That's their sole purpose. They not going over there to see the countryside or surf, to check out the beach, to experience the food. They looking for a young Filipina chick that they might be able to spend $30 on.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean it's the truth. Like whether I had a dude, a guy told me who was retired,
Mm-hmm.
retired from one of the big three,
Mm-hmm.
auto companies. Said, "Hey man, yeah, look man, I just got back. I just got back from over there in the Philippines. I'm about to head back over there, man. For $200, you can get a whole lot. And them young girls, they come over to the house, man. They rub your feet. They'll do everything for you." I'm like, that now that wouldn't intrigue me, but
Right.
for them it does. So all I'm saying is, just like if we look back to how things used to be, even in the African American community in the South back in the day. Ladies used to get married and start having kids. Not that I agree with it. At a very
Yeah.
young age, they might be
Like 10,
15.
12, 10 or
They might
12.
be
Where you come from?
they. Well, I'm just saying they
Shit.
might be
Yeah.
15 and had a husband who was 34.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't disagree with that, but I think that we have as a society advanced from that, and our social norms no longer allow, and I think our
I agree.
legal norms
Mm-hmm.
no longer allow for 14, 15-year old women or young girls to get married,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think there may be good cause and good reason and rationale for that. I I get it. I get culturally it may be different. I have no idea. I don't know this young man. I, maybe if it wasn't her. I think that's the point
Mm-hmm.
that
I think
Freeze
that,
was
yeah.
making. Like she's come out and stated
Right.
according like this is what I'm doing, this is my plan, this is this like my man, the man is the plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think had it just been some genuine thing that developed over time and we were none the wiser, people would feel different about it. I
Exactly.
think because of the disposition of the person, I think that is what makes it feel grimy to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's the griminess behind it.
Yeah.
But hey, like, hey, her man is her plan. I'm listen. I'm about to start working on my OnlyFans. I'm about to start getting flued out. A man gonna be my plan too in
Yeah.
24.
So like I said, so she became um she dated Tyrod Taylor, who plays quarterback in
Mm-hmm.
the NFL,
Yep.
and she dated Orlando Scandrick. So that's why I said Orlando, who played for the Cowboys, defensive back. So that's how she rose to quote unquote, IG prominence or anything else was
Mm-hmm.
from Orlando Scandrick, and then Tyrod Taylor. That was before she talked to Jalen.
Mm.
Yeah.
I just wonder what the conversation is like. I mean,
Right.
I'm curious. I don't know.
Man, I know I couldn't decipher it. I know that.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably interesting. Well,
Hmm?
no, it's not interesting.
I'm about to say, no, it's not.
no, no, it's probably not interesting at all.
I mean,
But
I was a smart kid. I was probably wise beyond my years when I was 22. I was still no match for a 39-year-old. No, I just wasn't. That a man that was 39 when I was 22 would have had me outside in the summer in a snowsuit. Like it's just that's just what it was.
I do not believe that.
Oh, 100%. Cause that's the thing. You just got like people underestimate the power of just time and wisdom and experience.
True.
When you
True.
don't have
True.
experience, you don't
There
know
it
what's
is.
happening. You outside in the summer in a snowsuit because you
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Yeah, you don't know
Over
what you don't know.
time,
Right.
yeah, you don't know what you don't know. Over time, you learn that, right?
Right.
You be like, well, wait a minute. I had this experience. I felt this
Yep.
before. I know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only going outside in my bathrobe this time because the
Right.
last time he had me outside in a snowsuit.
Right.
So you don't have the experience. You don't have it, and you can't get it other than just by getting it.
I
And that's the power.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
true.
the power dynamic when you have these relationships with this age discrepancy like that. It's just no match.
yeah,
It's just no match. I probably couldn't. I mean, at some point it becomes diminishing, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
40, you could probably date a 55-year-old.
Right.
If you're right, you've lived enough life. But
Life
when
to
you're
do that. Right.
20, Yeah, when you 20 and you dating a 40-year-old,
You ain't lived
there's
enough
no
life.
possibility.